It's that time of year again. We just saw the end of the World War II CWL season in August with a crazy victory from Evil Geniuses. Shortly after, we had the Black Ops 4 multiplayer beta. Between now and October, there will be continuous tension building in anticipation of the release of the next game. Based on everything we've seen so far, it will no doubt be one of the most unique CODs yet. And I don't think it's too crazy to say that it will be quite a ridiculous transition from World War II. We know a lot about the game, yet we also don't know a lot about the game. Connor, going into Black Ops 4, what are some of the key things that you'll be looking for?
So the number one thing I'm going to be looking for, and what I look for in every Call of Duty game, is I want good variants of weapons. I don't want it to be a game where everybody uses one gun, like how Modern Warfare 2 was with the ACR. You know, we're going back to Modern Warfare 2 now and playing a little bit because they just made it cross-compatible, and I'm grinding to get the ACR because everybody's using the ACR. And yes, there's other guns that are okay in the game, but the best Call of Duty games are always the ones where, you know, you can pick up almost any gun and at least have a chance. You know, at least maybe 2 or 3 ARs, 2 or 3 subs, you know, 2 snipers, a couple shotguns. You know, you can really run anything. So that's always one of the big things I'm looking for. I also want the maps to be fun, and this one's a little bit harder to explain. I mean, it's just, I feel like in World War II, and this is just my opinion, and I know everyone has this opinion, there's maybe like 2 or 3 maps where, like, when that map comes up, I'm like, yes, I love playing this map. Whereas in other CODs, I feel like there was more, and that's what I want in this next COD. I want it to be like, no matter what map gets picked in the game type I'm playing, I'm like, okay, this is a fun map. I feel like there's a lot of non-fun maps in World War II where I really don't enjoy playing it. Not even if they're just neutral, like there's maps where I don't like this map. So that's one of the things I'm looking for in the next game.
Okay. Would be nice to have a game where, like, there are maps that you're just like, yes, I got to play this one. And just to have that continuous feeling all the time. There's only been a handful of Call of Duties that have ever made it to that level of just like, every map's just fun, it's unique, it's different. One thing I love that World War II did that I hope Black Ops 4 kind of learns from and carries on is the continuous content flux. There's always new maps, there's always new game types. Like, even when there aren't map packs dropping, there's always that fun map in between that you get to play. Like the Sandbox, Winter Carrington, there was that weird German zombie map thing that we got to play for a little while. It was basically the Nuketown version for World War II. It was a tiny little house in the middle. I would love to see, again, that ability that just every week, every month, that there's new stuff going on in the game that just keeps me coming back. I can't remember the last time I've played a game, a Call of Duty 4 game, so consistently since it's come out. Since World War II came out and I bought it on the first day, I have pretty much played throughout. If Black Ops 4 can carry that on and do the same thing, I would love that. I would be ecstatic to be able to have that kind of content flux coming in and out, all different kinds of stuff going on. That's probably my biggest thing. The other thing World War II did really well, that, again, Black Ops 4, the potential is there to carry the momentum and keep going with it, is it was also in a constant state of improvement. There were regular patches, and at first I thought it was just annoying. You pretty much turned it on the game every day, and it was like, sorry, I had to restart. You had, like, new stuff's coming in. But the more I paid attention, the more I realized that stuff was continuously getting fixed and adjusted in the game, that the game always got better. There was a continuous state of improvement versus some other games in the past, like Battlefield 4. For those of you who played Battlefield 4 out there, know the pain when that game came out. To date, it is the worst multiplayer game I have ever played upon release, and it stayed that way for months. Every time they put out a major fix, everything broke. Everything else broke. And then they spent a month fixing that stuff, and then new stuff broke. Call of Duty World War II didn't have that problem. Every time they fixed something, it was fixed, and we were pretty much fine throughout the rest of the game for that single item. And stuff continued to get fixed. Black Ops 4 will suffer from the same stuff every other game suffers from. It'll release, there will be issues. I hope that they are paying attention and they're just continuously getting that stuff, getting it fixed, and making sure that the game is always getting a little bit better and keeping us interested in the game.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was going to say is, like, developer, you know, they listen. I want them to listen to what we say, you know, because it's not just, you know, something new coming out every week, because that's awesome and all, but I want it to be like, if a gun is broken or something is broken, I want them to hear the outcry, because if you go on Twitter after, like, the FAL came out or, like, some crazy thing happened, everyone was just like, this is so stupid, why did this happen? And they listened.
It was awesome, though.
There was so many games where the developers were like, they don't know what they want, we know what they want. It's like, no, we know what we want. We're the ones that are playing the game. And then I guess the last thing that I really want is, I just want, like, competitive league play. And World War II's done a pretty good job. Black Ops 2 did the best job, I think, so far. But in between that, the games were kind of just like, meh. Like, I want to be able to go and play competitive with random people and have it be a fun experience. Because, you know, you don't always feel like finding people to scrim with, or, you know, playing game battles, or, like, sometimes you just want to go on and play the competitive rule set and have fun and have people not quit out on you and have your teammates, like, kind of know what they're doing. And it's a lot of fun. And I think, like I said, I think World War II's done a good job. There's some things that I think World War II could have done better. There's some things that I really liked in Black Ops 2. There's some things that they could have done better. And I really, really, really hope that Black Ops 4 carries suit with that. And I think they will, because I think Treyarch's done a very good job supporting the competitive scene. But that's something I'm really hoping for in Black Ops 4.
I'd say Treyarch has, out of all the developers to date, has shown the best ability to keep improving and to have consistency. Black Ops 1 was a pretty solid Call of Duty when it came out. Black Ops 2 was an instant favorite for a lot of people. Black Ops 3, personally, is probably my second or third favorite Call of Duty ever. It was probably one of the few Call of Duties that I would describe as fun to play. So, I mean, there's also big expectations just for Treyarch for going into Black Ops 4. My other big thing would be score streaks. That is something that can make or break a lot of Call of Duties. I think Ghost is a good example of that personally. Ghost didn't have the greatest set of score streaks. Infinite Warfare is another example. One that just didn't have fun score streaks to use. Treyarch's always done a good job with that. So far, from what we've seen in the beta, it looks like the score streaks are pretty much just upgraded versions of what we've seen. Either upgraded or just, I'll say, different versions of what we've seen in the past. So hopefully that's a good sign, too. That those will just be fun to be able to go into pubs, have score streaks that you can actually push to, that are fun to use against other players.
Yeah, I'll carry through on that. The last thing I think I'm really looking for is, I don't want this game to be a game where it's unplayable when you're low level. And I know, like, a lot of CODs have had very different variants of that. Like I was just talking about Modern Warfare 2. You know, until you get the ACR, yes, you can do very well without the ACR, but you need the ACR to, like, really, really, really do well. And then you have the games like World War II, where, you know, you get the good guns pretty quick. I mean, you get the SCG quickly, you know. Pretty soon you're ready to go, and I think that that's what we need in the next COD too. And especially after, you know, playing with the divisions, like you had every division unlocked in this Call of Duty. You know, it's just how fast you can rank them up. Whereas in some of the past games, it was like, you know, you had to grind for Ghost, you had to grind for these things. So I think that Black Ops 4 should continue on that streak of, you know, right out of the box. If you know what you're doing, you can play for a little bit, and you can compete with everybody else.
Agreed.
All right, let us know in the comments what you want to see from Black Ops 2, and if you agree with what we said.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed today's video. We release new content at a minimum every Wednesday and Saturday. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to catch all our latest content, and check out the description for a link to our Twitter. We are Bracon out.